bit of an accurate, if somewhat convoluted metaphor considering the terminology, but overall, Zergs, maybe a few less drones early, because we all know they're not going to stop making queens. You're goddamn Brenda, stop. I know. Reaper still poking and prodding. Looks like Shin didn't make a pool any earlier than he usually would. So just waiting for the queen to come out and babysit the drones and lings and beyond. Now, some might argue he hasn't changed his build order in probably more than a decade. At least, the numbers may change, the style, not so much. And third command center's already on the way. Reactored Hellions are likely to be the choice. The early to mid-game, pretty much the pre-Ghost phase, I don't think is going to see any major changes. In this matchup in particular, you're still going to see a lot of queens facing off against whatever shenanigans that Terrans like to throw. Almost always some combination of Hellions, Banshees, and Reapers. But occasionally, what... Get off my... Good job, Susan. You got it. No, don't be condescending. Sorry. Of course, Beyond being Beyond does not have a starport on the way, but instead a second Rex. Lining up for a 3-2-1-1 medevac stim timing, like he's been known to do many times in the past. Other relevant changes, the Ultralisk is back to its original size. Its ultra size, if you would, though I'm not sure if that's applied in the current version we're playing, but also has increased push priority, which essentially means they can shove their friends out of the way more effectively. So now Ultras can kind of charge their way, not literally, but figuratively, to the front of the pack, and be a little bit more effective, especially considering Terrans might have less Ghosts, or less army to back it up, because the Ghost has been increased to 3 supply, as opposed to 2, which, since the late game for Terran versus Zerg usually involves somewhere between 10 and, yes, 25 Ghosts, means another 10 to 25 supply that is not usually invested in other things. And I think that Terrans will give up everything else before they give up those Ghosts, especially according to the patch notes, but can go check out that video and the discussions around it at another time. Or right now, I'll wait. Welcome back. Third base landing. Armory on the way. Hellbat timing going to be attempted. Unless he wants to... No, it's a Hellbat timing alongside these Marines. A Roach Horn about to complete for Shin. As the Marines just kind of trundling across the map. Stim done. There's 4 Hellions. That first medevac. This, unfortunately, there are queens. So, with Roaches already on the way, Shin has no knowledge of this. But he's already got the Roaches in production, anticipating some sort of attack. Spots it here. Oh my, and here come the Hellbats. Armory done. Gonna try to take down the Rock Tower here, maybe lock down the third, but that's not gonna happen. Here come the Roaches and Lings. The Queen's already in position. And tanking the fire right now, literally and figuratively. But the Roaches more than enough. The Hellbats just don't kick in time and don't provide very much of a front line with just a few Marines behind it. Shin reading this well. Very important, Shin actually cut drones around the mid-50s. So that way he was able to have enough units. Beyond quite notorious for this sort of timing here. And I think Shin realized when no Banshee came across, how much did he actually see? Oh, well, I think Shin realized that this was multiple barracks because he floated an Overlord in and he saw multiple barracks. For more hard-hitting analysis, make sure to smash that subscribe button. So yeah, that would have given it away. And now up to 62 drones. Not a booming economy, making a few more. But just being able to deflect that first pressure gives him a lot more breathing room than he would have if he had to spend more time throwing back the first attack. The age-old question of whether to build drones or units solved relatively easily by that efficient scout. But for now, the Baneling Nest infestation pit on the way. 1-1. Actually, a huge disparity in the upgrades. +1 Carapace will be done relatively quickly for Shin. Still a little behind the 1-1 upgrades of Beyond's army. But the +1 weapon still a long way off. So Beyond will have quite a window, especially if he starts his 2-2 upgrades immediately, to really take advantage of a tech advantage. Which, you know, that sentence could have been handled probably a little bit better, but hopefully Beyond is more on the ball with things. +1 Carapace, nearly completed. Hive is already on the way. Shin sprinting up towards Hive Tech. Maybe new patch, new Shin. In fact, Shin has been leveling up so much lately. He's now pretty comfortably the 3rd best Zerg in the world. Well, 4th, technically. We haven't seen much of Raynor lately. Honestly, until we see Home Story Cup, I'm not sure where Shin will land, but there's Cyril, who we haven't seen a single game on the new patch. There's Dark, who has been focusing... Well, he won the StarCraft 1 versus StarCraft 2 tournament, but I also haven't seen too many new patch games. And then Shin, who's been playing in pretty much every tournament lately, and usually doing quite well in them, if not winning outright. So he's got an opportunity here with Wardy's PTR tournament to add to that tally. For those who don't know, Shin, formerly known as Ragnarok, but switched to Shin because, one, if you don't have a 4-letter name and you're a Korean pro gamer, are you even trying? Maru, Zest, he who shall not be named, Cure, Dark. Though I did like Ragnarok. Honestly, I thought Ragnarok was a way cooler name, but to each their own. Viper's on the way. Tank push coming together. Quite a nice positioning here. Looks like Shin just giving this up, instead opting for a counterattack. Still no adrenal glands, of course, which didn't get a buff or a nerf, and still seems to be something Shin is deathly allergic to, despite being arguably the best upgrade for Zerglings in the entire game. Another drop of the back. Ultralisk Cavern is on the way. Vipers. Lings and Banes coming forward. Quite a brawl back and forth. He still hasn't actually taken out the hatchery, but the Marauders will finish it off. Looks like a small drop actually canceled the base to the top left, and Shin is knocked back down to 4 as Beyond takes a